Good morning. The subcommittee will come to order. I want to welcome our witnesses to discuss the lessons we can learn from the VA's efforts to modernize its technology during the last 2 years. The VA is an organization of nearly 500,000 people that serves 9 million veterans and their family members using thousands of IT systems and has a total budget of roughly $370 billion a year, making it second largest agency, only surpassed by the DoD. The scale of the IT systems are massive, and it presents a lot of challenges. The department has repeatedly attempted to address these challenges with mega projects that span years or even decades and cost billions of dollars. This strategy simply has not worked well. All 6 of the VA's multi-billion-dollar IT projects have either stumbled badly or collapsed altogether. And this should come as no surprise. I challenge our witnesses to point to any IT project anywhere with a budget this large that has been successful. We've spent many hours in this subcommittee discussing VA's 3 mega projects that are currently racking up cost overruns and schedule delays. Electronic health record modernization has spent nearly $10 billion already and would cost more than $37 billion to implement, according to the Institute for Defense Analysis. And the true cost across VA is even higher than that, as it doesn't include the enormous additional staffing requirements or the loss in productivity. VA and Oracle are on the cusp of resuming the rollout, and there is no end in sight. After 6 years, Financial Management Business Transformation has only installed the Momentum system in a few small corners of the VA, and its cost estimate has more than doubled to $5.8 billion, according to the IDA. Finally, the digital GI Bill has missed its original 2024 completion date, and its final price tag will likely double as well. Not only have these systems blown past their schedules and budgets, they're also struggling to live up to the user's expectations. However, there are signs that the VA's leaders are learning to take different approaches. Secretary McDonough had the good sense to pull the plug on the Nimbler system after its pilot at James A. Lovell went so poorly. The second supply chain effort has been on indefinite hold since the subcommittee exposed its poorly defined objectives and more than $9 billion life cycle cost estimate. Finally, Secretary McDonough and Mr. Del Bene and their teams came to their senses before moving forward with a nearly $1 billion human capital management modernization contract. I'm glad to see some of the VA resist the contractor's expensive promises and the temptation to use major IT projects to build their bureaucratic empires. Mega projects sound good in theory, but in reality, they're always overdue and over budget, and that's unacceptable for veterans and for the taxpayers. At a time when the VA has come to us with more than a $6 billion budget deficit, the department literally cannot afford to operate this way anymore. Mega projects are also incompatible with the best practices that took hold in the software industry more than a decade ago. I'm talking about agile, incremental development, small-scale deployments, testing by real users, and component-based architecture. We're going to hear about successful use of these practices from our panel of independent experts and hopefully from our VA witnesses as well. We've also seen some encouraging examples when the VA succeeded in implementing or solving problems with smaller systems. VA.gov was riddled with bugs causing veteran submissions to disappear, and I still question how long it took for the department to tell us everything. But Mr. Del Bene and his office were able to get to the root of the problems fairly quickly. There's also the 18-month ordeal to get the program integrity tool to process claims data correctly. But the system is small enough that OIT was eventually able to figure it out. Mr. Riffici and his team recognized the limitations in the large, outdated Veterans Benefit Management System, and they have been proactively segmenting it and modernizing it in individual parts. As with most things in government, the larger a project gets, the harder it is to manage, and the less likely it is to ever deliver useful capability. On the other hand, smaller efforts deliver early and often, and they can survive the technical challenges along the way. As we close out this Congress and prepare to transition to a new administration with new VA leadership, I want to emphasize these lessons learned. We need to build a nimbler VA that's more responsive to the veterans' needs. I look forward to our witnesses' testimony today to help us do that.